So, hola a todos. Welcome. Hi, everyone. So, this is another live lesson today. This one is in Spanish. Just about 2 hours ago, we did one in German with teacher Diliana Hunley, and that was an excellent chance to kind of chit-chat about German, hear some things. And so, in this session, we're going to be doing Spanish, and I'm joined today with language learner Alan Hogan of letsstudyalanguage.com. So, hola, Alan, ¿cómo estás? Thanks for joining me here. How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing good. Glad to be here. I'm just a bit nervous to do live things, but it's all right, man. Yeah.
Well, we'll take it kind of keep it nice and calm. So we did a lesson together about maybe a week or so ago. I think kind of a lesson through just some basics for Spanish. And so we're going to review a little bit what we did last time. So we were looking at some of the materials from Benny Lewis's new language hacking course, which is on Teach Yourself and partnered with Italki. So if you guys want to go over to the languagehacking.com website, you can sign up for a sample of the Spanish course, and there's like 3 pages that have some dialogues. So we're going to go through dialogues here, and then we're going to try to expand on that a little bit with the vocabulary, a little with the grammar. And Alan did a really great job the last time, and he took some of the feedback that I'd given him and posted an introductory video up on Benny's Fluent in 3 months plus uploads page, and I think you got some good feedback. And also, I think you posted that also in the language exchange group, and I think there were some Spanish speakers who were also able to kind of give you some feedback. So, so if you guys joining us live, if you have any questions about Spanish pronunciation, vocabulary, grammar, feel free to participate and ask some questions. And so thanks for joining us, and let's get started. So do you want to go kind of dive in and start reading some of these conversations?
Yeah, sure. I'll start with the first one, obviously.
Yeah, why don't you read all the A and B parts, and I'll just give you some feedback when you're finished with that.
Okay. So Sarah, the Sarah and Pablo thing again.
Yeah,
okay.
Sure.
Yeah, I got it. Hola, soy Sara, ¿y tú? Hola, soy Pablo, ¿qué tal? Bien, gracias, ¿y tú? Muy bien, así que háblame de ti. Bueno, soy de los Estados Unidos, pero vivo aquí en Madrid y soy artista. ¿Y tú? Soy de España, por supuesto, y soy profesor. Okay.
Good.
Yeah.
Any doubts you have in there so far?
Well, sometimes I do struggle with the stress of the words. I sometimes I don't know what the stress is, and I struggle with that quite a lot.
Okay, so one thing on here is if you've looked at like French before, where you have like the accent marks, which are just kind of to tell you how to pronounce a vowel sound. Spanish gives you both, like, well, the pronunciation isn't really going to change with vowel sounds because they're very simple, but the accent marks are going to give you the tonic stress of the word. So if you look at the háblame de ti, where Pablo says muy bien, así que háblame de ti, there's the accent on that first A, and what this is you should pronounce this like a word like company, where you have the stress on the first syllable. So this is háblame.
Yeah.
You can try that?
Háblame.
You're slightly switching it to the next syllable. So kind of like the word company. Háblame.
Háblame.
Yeah, okay, that's getting better. Yeah, stressing that first syllable.
Háblame.
And háblame. Háblame. So ta ta ta. So this is very typical when you have commands in the language. So I do this all the time with my kids, where I mean I'm primarily speaking to them in English, but there's a lot of commands that they hear where it's like sit down, eat your food, put your hat on, take your shoes off. A lot of those commands, you end up doing something where you stress that first syllable, and maybe there's a suffix here for like the person. So this háblame is kind of like tell me, and when you have that construction, you're going to put this accent mark there. So this thing's like kind of platícame. That would be like tell me about something. Platícame. Platícame. What are some other here? Quítate. I hear my kids do this. Quítate is where this like get off of me, stay away. So my kids, when they're fighting, it's a little bit of quítate, quítate. So that has a similar pronunciation there. Okay.
Yeah, I understand that. Yeah.
Also, when you have, the accent mark on K, like ¿qué tal? Well, it doesn't quite, because it's just a one-syllable word. You might ask the question like, well, why is there an accent mark there? It doesn't really change the pronunciation. What this is we have two different words where K without the accent mark means that in terms of like a conjunction, like you're connecting the sentence. Like, I think that's a good idea. So you would be using K without the accent. And when you're using K with the accent, this is what.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I understand that, man. I understand that. Yeah, I was like having troubles telling the difference, like when a word does have the accent mark and one doesn't, and it changes the meaning. I was struggling with that too.
Yeah, there's also like the tu with the accent means you, and when you don't have the accent, it means your.
Oh, yeah, it's tricky. Definitely.
So there's a handful of those ones, and also I think the word see, like yes, we don't see it in this conversation, but si with the accent on the I means yes, and when you don't put the accent, then it means if.
Oh, yeah.
So there's a bunch of those. I think I'll put that in like the notes with this video, so people can see some of those examples. But let me see here and see if there's any questions so far. And so I'll put this in the text chat. We're live, and I'll say feel free to ask questions. Okay.
Is there any questions so far?
No, not yet. Just kind of, I think I see like a few people, one or two people viewing live, but no questions yet. Okay. Well, let's move on. So let's move on to like maybe the next conversation here.
Yeah. Conversation 2. Got it.
Sure. Yeah.
Okay. So it starts with Pablo. So, bueno, ¿qué te gusta? Gusta la pizza, pero no me gusta la pasta. Me gusta la música clásica. Me encanta el chocolate. Pablo, ¿qué te gusta? Me gusta visitar museos y me encanta el fútbol.
Okay. Museos. Me gusta visitar museos.
I don't even know what that is.
Sorry?
I don't even know what that word is myself. I don't know.
Museum.
Oh, museum. Yeah.
And here, because of these vowels and the letter S, the accent, the stress will be on the E, the museos.
Yes, yeah. Understand that.
Just a little comment here on the ends of the sentences. Make sure you have like a falling intonation. So, me gusta la pizza, pero no me gusta la pasta, and like have your voice kind of falling, except for the question, like the que te gusta, like yeah, que te gusta.
Yeah, it's definitely like for a beginner, like a beginner's going to have a lot of troubles, like with the speaking part, because like they're not used to like speaking in that language, and they don't know like to like fall or go up or like talk in like a medium tone, stuff like that. Definitely easier than any Asian language, though. I can say that.
Yeah, with the tones. Yeah, I think the stress here, it's a little bit more more predictable, I guess I would say, for Spanish. Like even so much now that when I'm speaking some other languages like Russian or German or something, I seem to use these patterns from Spanish even when they have nothing to do with those other languages, and it sometimes gets a little frustrating to say like, okay, if there's an S or an N at the end, I go back a syllable, or if there's a vowel, I go back a syllable. If it's none of those, I stress the last syllable, and if an accent mark, that's where I focus. So like after doing this for so many years, it's just those patterns become just like ingrained when you're speaking. So,
yeah, okay. Like you kind of get them mixed up, and you're just used to it, like speaking. Mm-hmm. Yeah, understand that.
So tell me a little bit. What are some things that you like to do? ¿Qué te gusta hacer?
Hold on. What I like to do in Spanish.
Mm-hmm. Sure. Yeah.
What I like or my interests.
Mm-hmm.
I like me gusta la música.
La música.
La música. Y me gusta la correr.
Me gusta correr. Uh-huh.
Uh-huh. Y me gusta la what's that word? Skateboard, so patineta.
Andar en patineta. Uh-huh.
Patineta. Y me gusta estudiar.
Estudiar. Uh-huh.
Estudiar. That's, I can't think of anything else. Those, I guess.
What do you like to study? ¿Qué te gusta estudiar?
I like, I don't know how to say it in Spanish at all. I like, I don't know how to say it in Spanish.
What is it?
Coding. I like to study coding.
Oh, I guess you could say programar. Yeah, to program.
Yeah, programmer. I like to study English, like mm-hmm. over here. Yeah, like the English language, and working out, which is like kind of like career. I think career. Maybe.
I guess you could say hacer ejercicio. Ejercicio to do exercise.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's it so far.
Okay, and I suppose you like studying languages?
Yeah, definitely.
That sounds like a good name for a website. So me gusta estudiar. You could say this two ways. You could say in feminine, lenguas extranjeras, or you could do this in masculine. Me gusta estudiar idiomas extranjeros. So idioma is language and lengua is tongue. So, I mean, there's two synonyms there. Just make sure you kind of keep an eye on which one is masculine with an OS for the idioma, is el idioma is masculine, and la lengua is feminine. So we make sure that we have the adjective is extranjeras, extranjera. So that's with the s there. Okay. And which languages do you like to learn? I'm afraid I can't hear you for a second. Yeah. I don't hear a microphone for a second. So I think I've left you speechless. Can't hear you yet. I think there was some problem with the microphone. Can you jump back in? Okay, so we're going to do a little bit of a review of what we've seen so far here. So Alan has been reviewing a little bit from the language hacking book here by Benny Lewis. We're looking at the basic conversation for the conversation 2, and we're looking at the what do you like. And so we've been looking at me gusta, which means basically it pleases me, but the function is like I like something. So we've looked at a couple of verbs like me gusta correr, I like to run. Me gusta estudiar, I like to study. Me gusta hacer ejercicio, I like to do exercise, I like to work out. And another way to use this me gusta is if you have an object. Like in Spanish grammar, it's a little tricky because when you're doing this, you actually need to conjugate the verb according to what the object is. It's a little tricky. So if it's like, I like pizza, pizza is one thing, so me gusta doesn't change, me gusta la pizza. But let's say you like books. I like books. You're going to have to change gusta to gustan with an N because you're talking about more than one book. So this is me gustan los libros. I like books. Me gustan los libros. Okay. So good to see you back here, Alan.
Hi.
Can you hear you?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. Great. So
Oh,
let us
thank
know.
God.
Let us know which languages do you like? ¿Cuáles idiomas? ¿Cuáles idiomas te gustan?
I don't know how to say most of them in Spanish. So
Well, you can tell me them in English. We'll translate
okay,
them.
thanks. As I said, English. Like I'm trying to get better with my own language. I'm interested in I'm interested in Scots, like the Scottish kind of Scottish language.
Oh, you got me
Just
stuck
Scottish.
there. You got me tongue-tied there. I think this is Escocese, Scottish, but I'm trying to get Gaelic out of that. Just a second here. I have to go to my friend here, wordreference.com. It's an excellent site when you have language doubts. So I'll put Gaelic here.
Right.
Instead of using just Google Translate, which sometimes might get you some strange things, but I'll have here Gaelico Escocés. Gaelico Escocés.
And I'm interested in Turkish because like there's a lot of Turkish barbers here. Like when they're doing your hair, you can talk to them. And I did one time. It didn't go so well. Yeah. I also like German because of skill.
Alemán. Yeah, I saw you asking some questions in the previous lesson. So yeah, you had some good questions there and telling us about your experience learning German when you were in high school. Cool.
I also like Asian languages such as Japanese, Chinese, and Korean. They're all good.
Okay. Chino. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Coreano.
Mm-hmm. And Japanese, yeah.
In Japanese,
yeah.
Japanese.
And just recently, I've been looking into Catalan because when I was in
Mhm.
Mallorca, I seen like this big sign saying Es Mozar or something, Es Mozars. And it was like breakfasts. I didn't know what it meant because it wasn't Spanish, because it was like Catalan. And it was like in the local dialect Mallorcan, which is interesting. I don't know much about it, but it's mysterious to me. Very mysterious. And it's got
Yeah,
like
it's kind of a
Portuguese.
mix a little bit. Yeah, oh,
Yeah,
Portuguese. Yeah.
yeah. Portuguese, Italiano,
Okay.
Espanol. It's got those. It's got
Yes.
those languages in it. It's weird, but yeah, that's all for now.
That's
Not really
all.
interested in
That's todo. Okay. That's all. Okay.
it. They're only
Not you're yeah, no eres ambicioso. No eres ambicioso. You're not ambitious. Okay.
yeah.
So okay. So how long what was your first foreign language? ¿Cuál era tu primer idioma extranjero?
German, Deutsch.
Alemán. Yeah. El
No.
alemán.
That's a
Yeah.
lie. That's a lie. That's a lie. My first language was actually Italian,
Oh, okay. El
and I was like,
italiano. Okay.
yeah, when I was like 11, 10, 12 years old, something like that. My second was French. I did it for 1 year, so una años.
Un
Uh,
año.
yeah, una,
Francés.
yeah. And
Estudié el francés por un año. Yeah,
hmm.
por un año.
Then I didn't like it, so I moved to German the next year, in my second
Ah,
year.
okay. So here, this is actually an interesting way we can take the gusta, put it in the past. To do that, we swap out the A with an accented O, and we get no me gustó, no me gustó, no me
Oh,
gustó.
okay. I didn't know that. That's interesting, man.
Yeah, so you get a 2-for-1 there. You like me gusta alemán, no me gustó el francés. I didn't like French. I like German, and you could put a but, a pero. Yeah.
Hmm. And after German, I decided I liked anime and stuff, so I moved to Japanese, and that's how I
Cool.
got
Okay.
kicked out of my German class.
Okay.
Funnily enough.
So después de is after. Después de estudiar el alemán. Después de estudiar el alemán.
Hmm.
And then if you're talking about yourself, for like estudio, like I study with an O, that's I study. If you put this in the past, you swap out the O with an accented E. So estudié el japonés. It's like ahora, now, estudio el español. You could even refer to time in the past. You could say antes, which is before. Antes estudié el francés, pero no me gustó. So, antes estudié el francés, pero no me gustó. So, después del francés, estudié alemán y me gustó.
And I like German.
Y después del alemán, estudié el japonés porque me gustó. Me gustó. I guess we could call it anime. I'm
Yeah,
just gonna
yeah.
check there for what.
Animación, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, dibujos animados japoneses, or just simply anime, or anime. So we could say me gustó el anime.
Where does that start? Ante
So
después.
yeah, antes, yeah, before, in the past, estudié el francés, pero no me gustó. Yeah, I studied French in the past, but I didn't like it.
Hmm.
And then maybe the next sentence, después del francés, estudié alemán y me gustó. Y
So
después, yeah,
después. Wait.
is
Después.
after.
Yeah. I'm gonna try and read this. Después del francés estudié alemán y me gustó. Después del alemán estudié el japonés porque me gustó el anime. Something
Yeah,
like that.
cool. Yeah. Like after German, I studied Japanese because, porque, I liked anime. Yeah, cool. And después del japonés, ¿qué estudiaste?
Mm.
What did you study después del japonés?
Oh, what did I study in Japanese?
Or after Japanese, what did you start?
Oh, after I just went all over the place, I started to study Russian, Arabic,
El ruso. Mhm.
in Arabic, and I went from Greek to some other languages I can't remember. I basically just started studying a lot, like dabbling.
Yeah.
Yeah, dabbling some languages.
Yeah, I can relate. I would say, yo hice lo mismo. Yo hice lo mismo. I did the same thing. I just, once I got to like, yo estudié español, luego estudié francés, luego is like, and then, luego alemán, luego italiano, luego ruso y después como todo. So it was everything. And then it was kind of just, wait, no, I need to stop and kind of focus here a little bit.
Focus on. Yeah.
Yeah. And so that's, I think, my core languages, I would say Spanish and French. And then right now I'm trying to get my German and Italian up. And I've been focusing a lot on Russian this past year. And hopefully I might be able to win a trip to Russia if I'm lucky in the Add One Challenge. So that'd be awesome.
Excited for that. Excited for the 25th.
Yeah, that'll be next Sunday. So there'll be a live finale there. So you guys can.
I'll be watching.
Oh, cool.
I'll be watching.
Cool. So let's get in here. So yeah, so you said a little bit about you looked at El Griego, that's Greek, Árabe, that's Arabic. What else did you mention there? Sorry.
So Greek, Arabic, Russian, Russia.
Yeah, El Ruso.
Then I just went all over the place. So, and just recently, so recently Spanish, which I'm trying to stick to.
Cool.
That's the story. Yeah.
Cool. Okay. So yeah, there's a lot of languages on this list. That's really cool. I'll have to kind of put this into the into the YouTube this list here as well. Okay. So when you're not studying languages and when you're not working out, what are some other things you like to do?
I like to. Well, I like to edit videos. Like if I'm not doing any of that, I like to edit videos. And just recently, I've been getting into doing time lapses for my videos, like long periods of time. Like you just set your camera outside, go in an app, or like just record for a long period of time, then get it in your editing software and make it look good. So like cinematics and stuff. I like to go out with friends, just hang about places, go in town, watch movies, TV, chill. That's like it. I think I said it a bit too fast. Like I think I just delivered it.
I'm typing quickly to kind of catch up here to teach you some of this stuff. Okay, yeah, so you could say to edit videos, me gusta editar. It's not that complicated. Editar videos para YouTube. Grabo is to record. Grabo videos largos. I guess it'd be long videos. I'll have to look at the exact phrase here for like time lapse. I'll see what our friend Word Reference says about time lapse. Yeah, they've got like time lapse photography would be fotografía secuencial, like a sequence of photos, or fotografía a intervalos de tiempo, so with time intervals. So you could say maybe you do videos intervalos de tiempo. So that's one thing you could use here, and then turn that into a video or like a sequence. Intervalos de tiempo. Me gusta pasar tiempo, to spend time. Me gusta pasar tiempo con mis amigos. Me gusta mirar la tele. Like I like to watch TV. Me gusta ver películas, movies. I like to see movies, watch movies. And if you are watching this live, let us know in a comment, what do you like to do?
Yeah. Yeah, I'll have to like look at this later. so much like information there to like study.
And do you want to practice pronouncing some of this?
Yeah, sure. Where should I start? I'll start after what I read. Antes, blah, 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 después, alemán, el anime. I will start after the anime one, I think, if I can find it. Estudié el japonés porque me gusta el anime, después del japonés que estudiaste.
That's the conjugation for you in the past. So that's what did you study? What did you study?
Yo hice lo mismo.
Yeah, the H is silent here. Hice. Yo hice lo mismo. I did the same thing.
Luego el griego, el árabe, el ruso. So then Greek, Arabic, Russian. Me gusta editar videos para YouTube. So
videos.
Oh, sorry.
Videos. You know, like a stress on the E.
Videos. Videos. Me gusta editar videos para YouTube. So on YouTube.
For YouTube. For YouTube.
Grabo videos largos. So record videos. Me gusta pasar tiempo con mis amigos. So spend time with friends. Can't say. Me gusta mirar la tele. So watch TV. Me gusta ver películas a intervalos de tiempo. So I don't know what the last one is, like interval.
It was a time lapse. It was a time lapse, like interval times or times intervals of time. And just a little comment here. I was just double checking on Word Reference. Video, it actually has kind of two pronunciations. So since I'm living in Mexico, the pronunciation has a bit of a stress on the E, videos, but it looks like in Spain, so if you're learning a little bit more of the European Castilian Spanish, the accent is on the first syllable, the I, so that'd be video. So you have those two exist in the language, just in case we get some comments on the YouTube video afterwards, just like like you forgot one, or that's wrong, or something. So, just as a disclaimer, I'm not a native speaker. I've been learning Spanish for 20, 21 years, and I've been teaching this. And so I've been living in Mexico for 8 years. I've studied Spanish. My wife is a native Spanish speaker from Mexico. So I'm surrounded by Mexican Spanish for a long time, and so I'm happy to share any of the advice, and I'm still happy to learn from a lot of native speakers. So if you guys have some comments, some suggestions, we're open to the feedback. It's a whole learning experience here. So, okay, let's move on to the next conversation in Benny's course here. So let's look at conversation 3 here. Okay, you want to read this? Looks like Alan's connection is kind of with the microphone, maybe. Okay, here, you're back. Cool.
I'm sorry, like that. This happens sometimes. Sometimes it goes off, then back on. Sorry.
No problem. That's the language learning process.
Yeah.
Cool. So you want to take a look at the conversation 3?
Okay, I'll go back on it. I need a link. Wait. S3. Yeah, I've got a link here. It's just loading now. 2 seconds. About to actually click it.
No problem. I'll read a little bit while it's loading for you. So Pablo is asking Sarah, why is she learning Spanish? What's her motivation for learning Spanish? So Pablo starts out with, así que, ¿por qué aprendes español? Bueno, aprendo español porque quiero hablar un idioma precioso y quiero entender la cultura española. Quiero vivir y trabajar en España y creo que la música española es muy interesante. ¿Te gusta la música clásica o la música moderna?
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Can you read this? Sure.
Yeah. Así que, porque aprendes español? Bueno, aprendo español porque quiero hablar un idioma preciso y quiero entender la cultura española. Quiero vivir y trabajar en España y creo que la música española es muy interesante. ¿Te gusta la música clásica o la música moderna?
Okay. Just one thing here. Precioso.
Yeah.
Yes, you kind of have to separate the I and the O. So it's precioso. Yeah, and quiero.
Quiero.
Yeah, quiero. Actually, my kids, they have a hard time with that I-E, that quiero, and they have a hard time with their Spanish R. So my kids actually end up, it's almost like they're Japanese speakers sometimes, because they end up saying kelo.
Oh, yeah.
So they're telling me, like, I want milk, and they're telling me something like kelo lechita. And I'm like, you mean quiero lechita? So I have to even kind of correct my kids' Spanish. They even make all of the irregular verbs, they make them all regular. So all the things like poner or tener, they just do the simple things of like they'll tell me stuff like ¿Dónde poniste mis zapatos? Like, and I'm like, you mean pusiste? And they're like, what? I said that correct. I'm like, so that they have no idea about the irregular verbs. It's just, so it's not only for people who are learning Spanish like as adults, it's also little kids who are frustrated of like, why can't this language be regular? And also like tener, they'll say something like no tení or something like I didn't have, and it should be no tuve, and then even the present tense they'll think like are you sure you know that? And you're like, sí, sabo. I'm like, it's yo sé, yo sé.
Yeah.
It's an irregular first person. So Spanish has some irregular things for the first person conjugation, like I know something, or I give, doy. There's just a handful of irregular first person conjugations. You need to kind of learn those, memorize those. And then in the past tense, there's a handful of these irregular forms, and it really annoys a lot of learners, and it also annoys like little kids who are
Oh
learning
yeah,
Spanish. Yeah.
especially
But
like the thing you said about the R. Like the R is, I know it's easy for me, but even I mess up because sometimes I need to actually focus on saying it, and it's like like see, it's difficult sometimes to actually get it out the mouth and actually like, use it in like a sentence. Then sometimes you forget about it, then you're like the soft R, yeah.
yeah, and also my son, he has a hard time. He can't do consonant clusters. So anything that is like grande, he'll just shorten it to grande. Or frío, tengo frío, like I'm cold. He'll say tengo frío, tengo frío. So all those little combinations of a little R with some other consonant, he just simplifies them. So it'll be interesting listening. I need to record his Spanish a little bit more, so it'll be kind of a time lapse of his language growth over the years, and also he mixes some Spanish and French and English sometimes with his recording. But so that's cool. Let's try just developing this conversation a little bit more with what is your motivation for learning Spanish?
Oh, me.
Yeah, what's your motivation? And also people who are watching here, I see there's somebody with the handle Language Adventure. So what is your interest in learning Spanish?
2 seconds. I'm trying to get back on that.
No
I had
problem.
to switch over
This
to my phone.
happens.
Yeah, I actually had to switch over to my phone there because like it ran out of charge and it's just charging now. So like, yeah. Well, my new motivation, like before my trip to Mallorca, I know they speak Spanish, I know they speak Catalan, and I decided to learn before, but I didn't know how to. I didn't know how to go about it. I didn't know speakers, and yeah, so I just went to Mallorca. Then I couldn't speak any Spanish. The shopkeeper lady was like saying like welcome. What, I don't even know what welcome is in Spanish.
Bienvenidos.
Yeah, like they're welcoming me into the shop, and they're saying when I bought something, they were like gracias, and then I said no problem. I was like de nada, like. Then I walked out. Then I couldn't speak to them. They were trying to talk to me. I couldn't understand them. Then I got back. So then I was interested in Spanish. Then I've just picked it up, and I want to go back to Mallorca someday. Like talk.
Cool.
That'd be good.
So how long were you there for? Like 2 weeks?
10 days.
Or
I
10
was
days?
10 days.
Cool. Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah, that first experience is sometimes a bit overwhelming where you're like, I want to talk, but I'm embarrassed or I'm afraid of like I won't understand what they're going to say back to me. And I've had some experiences like that. Like the first time I went to France, I was with a homestay with a family, actually in a town like in Switzerland, and it was kind of border of France and Switzerland. And the first morning I woke up, they're like, "Hey, do you want anything to eat or drink?" And I'm like, "Water." And then la 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 la. And I'm like, "Water." and it wasn't like I woke up or something that like they finally calmed down and told me what they were asking me. But it was like, "Do you want hot water? Do you want cold water?" And I was just like, "Water." And then a similar thing happened when I was visiting. When I got into Poland on a trip like 8 years ago, we just got off a train in like Krakow, and I just wanted some tea. I didn't care what the tea was. I just told the woman who was selling the stuff in the train station, "Herbati, tea." And then she went into her questions of what kind of tea did I want, and I don't care. I just want some tea, or something. It's like going in a Starbucks and you're like, I just want some coffee, and you're like, you want it tall, alto, grande? What, you want some milk? Or you want half and half, whole milk, light? Do you want some kind of like added syrup in here? Do you want some extra stuff? And it's like, and it was just, yeah, I think there's somebody correcting me with the Polish herbata. Thank you, Wookie, okay, or gracias, and dziękuję. And so you get tongue-tied sometimes with like, I just want something, and then people are gonna give me the complete kind of conversation, these questions, right? So,
Yeah.
but Benny, I think he has a good approach. I think he mentions this here in some of the language hacking, that you can kind of just do Tarzan speak sometimes to just get your point across of saying like donde el baño. Like, you don't even conjugate a verb, you just say where the bathroom, and people basically get your point. And that is a crucial stage in that communication, where the focus is first communication, and as you get comfortable, you start to perfect the grammar or the pronunciation. But like, first and foremost, it's probably communication would be an important thing on there. So cool. And where do you want to kind of take your Spanish in like a couple weeks or a month?
In like 2 seconds. In 3 months, like, you know, like the 3 months thing. Like in 3 months, I want to actually be able to like hold like a decent conversation. Like, you know, like the length of that one challenge. Like I'm speaking to more speakers on Hello Talk now, and they send me voice messages and stuff, so that's good. And I'm getting some listening, but via podcast. So in 3 months, I want to like hold a good conversation and maybe upload it to YouTube. That's my goal.
Are you planning on documenting your Spanish on your website and on your YouTube?
Yeah, I'm gonna be making more posts on it and videos to go along with it. I'm gonna be doing gonna try and do it weekly, like weekly videos. Gonna try and make it as long as I can, and I need to set a goal. And if I don't like do it, like you didn't drink coffee, I'm sure, or something like that. I'm gonna try and figure something out and make a better schedule, because I don't have a good schedule at the moment. Because I asked the question.
How is your language learning schedule? How do you manage the different languages?
Like I used to, like, I don't really have a schedule. Like sometimes on the day I just decide what I'm going to do, what I feel like. My old schedule, like this was, I hated the schedule. Looking back on it, it was like one day a different language, one day different, blah blah blah. Never got anything done. Never. Like flatline, nothing goes in one ear and out the next. And now I've got more time, I'm gonna actually like put together a schedule. I'm gonna see what I'll be doing. Then, yeah, it's gonna be more organized. It's gonna be one language this time. It's not gonna be all over the place like last time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yesterday on the finale for the Add One Challenge, the 14th group, did you get a chance to watch that video?
Yes, I did. I was watching.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a question that I asked. I mean, unfortunately, I wasn't live in there to participate, but I had Brian ask the question for me, and I was asking for Richard and for Vladimir about like what is their opinion about, should you learn a language in a block of time, or should you kind of bite size and interweave some of the languages of, like, if you got 10 minutes here, 10 minutes there, or should you do kind of like take an hour, or should you take like a period of time like 3 months? And I think definitely with the Add One approach is of like study one, focus on that, get that up to a good level. And I think Richard was also interpreting the question, since I was mentioning like maintaining the levels. So like once you've done that intensive work, what would be a way to kind of top it up to keep them kind of active? And I think Richard's input, I think, was valuable about like, you only have so many hours in the day. So if you're gonna like find some of those little moments, make the most of them. And but I think it is important to kind of have some priorities, what your goals are, what you want to be able to do, which languages you want to be able to communicate most in, or who are you connecting the most with your audience or your travel opportunities? So it's not easy when we're given like a buffet table of, here you can dabble in all of these languages. They're all wonderful. They're all equally interesting, and there's millions of people for each one of them to speak with. It's kind of like the blank table or the blank page of like, well, which one should I start with? Which one should I do? And I've had a hard time a little bit with my German or my Italian sometimes, because like, who am I connecting with? And I haven't found so many people to interact with for German. I've been very lucky to find a very large Russian community to interact with on VK, with the Language Heroes community over there, and they've been very supportive of my Russian, and so that's like given me a huge motivation to level up in Russian, and this possibility with the Add One challenge, maybe to win a trip, that would be awesome. So like with your Spanish, like your trip to Mallorca, I think that's a wonderful experience to be able to kind of keep you motivated. Like, I'd like to go back. I'd like to find out more about the culture. I'd like to, I don't know, study something about the culture, listen to music, find something that helps you connect with it to keep you motivated. Because if it's just purely the language, the grammar, you might get kind of turned off quickly. I know Benny, with his experience, like he did like 6 months living in the country, and it was just grammar. It was just like, even if you're living in the country, you need to find some way to make it enjoyable, make it fun, connect with it. Yeah, feel free, as you want to kind of take lessons and dedicate the lessons to like the vocabulary you want, or the grammar, or keep it about yourself. That's perfectly cool. Because I know Benny is really into developing your story, developing your script, to like talk things about yourself. Well, what is it that you're interested in doing? What is it that you want to do? So definitely kind of figure out those little bits and pieces that you want to learn.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. I asked Brian, like, going back to the Add One challenge thing. I asked Brian on Facebook when the next Add One challenge is, and it's on the 26th of September, like after the day of the announcement. And I'm definitely going to enter, not this week, like in a month or two, 1 or 2 months, I'm gonna try and enter. Like, I will enter at one point, because I've just been looking at like your video. You did 1 hour after the 90 days.
Yeah, like actually like an hour and a half in Russian. Actually, that was quite a lot of, like, I did 5 to 10 minute YouTube videos like once a day. I think starting around day 7, because we're encouraged in the Add One challenge to make a day 0 video, a day 30, a day 60, a day 90, and the goal by the day 90 is to have a 15 conversation. And when I did an hour and a half, I was like, oh wow. Not only was I able to keep going for 15 minutes, I just kind of kept going with my language exchange partner Anna, who's just a really wonderful, supportive Russian speaker, and she's also a fellow teacher, and she introduced me to the Language Heroes community. And so to be able to kind of finally have a long conversation with her in that target language, Russian, it was just a really enjoyable experience. And it was like, not only was this just a like marking the end of these 90 days, it was like, I can finally communicate with a friend who up until that moment we'd only been speaking in English or texting in English. And it was like, now I can talk to you in your language. You've been encouraging me for so long, like a year or more, of like work on your Russian, do this. And then finally kind of taking her seriously and getting the support from multiple communities, Language Heroes and Add One and the Facebook group. And so there's been just a lot of support. And I think for your Spanish, yeah, you could definitely do something really awesome with the Add One group. There's a lot of motivated people in there. A lot of people are learning Spanish as well. So yeah, you kind of would definitely, I think you could do really well in there.
Yeah, I think so. I think so too. Like, I think I can do it if I just stick to it, get a program going, and just put my head down and get on with it, which I plan to do. Oh, Jesus Christ. Where's my phone? Okay.
So, any last things? Let's go kind of practice one last time here with these conversations, and then some other things that you'd like to add in there.
Yeah, I'll start with the conversations. I'm just opening it again. Yeah, I'm restoring like my Google thing. Okay, it's open. Da, da, da. Okay, I'm on the conversation.
And see if you can kind of adapt them to yourself.
Yeah. I'll do that. So I'll start on one,
Mm-hmm.
and I'll just change like some of them. Like I'll change the Sarah one to myself.
Sure.
Jonathan. I'll just change the name. It's better than Pablo. Hola, soy Jonathan. ¿Qué tal? Muy bien. Gracias, amigo. ¿Y tú? Muy bien. Así que háblame de ti. What does bueno mean? Again, wait. Buenos dias, like good. Like good.
Yeah, bueno is a little bit like a well, so it's a filler word in this case. And háblame de ti. Yeah.
Háblame. Yeah, I'm gonna get used to that. So bueno, soy de Escocia. Escocia. Pero vivo, wait, pero is like I live in, pero is that live?
Pero is but, and vivo is I live. Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Here the conversation is a bit of a contrast. Like somebody's from someplace else, and the contrast is they're living in like Madrid. However, for your case, like you're from Scotland and you're also living there, so it's not exactly a contrast. You should probably use something like and e.
Yeah,
Right?
vivo en Glasgow, Scotland. Yeah. So I'll start again from that bit. Bueno, soy de Escocia.
Mm-hmm.
Y vivo en Glasgow, Escocia. Y wait, what is she's saying? She's an artist. Wait, I don't know what I should change that to.
Let me take a look here. So she is telling about maybe her profession. Mm-hmm.
Oh, y soy estudiante.
Estudiante.
Y tú, then Pablo says, soy de España, por supuesto, y soy profesor.
Okay. And yeah, I would say I'm from the United States. I mean, she uses that for Sarah, but I mean, I'm not from Spain. I'm from the United States, but I am a teacher. So soy de los Estados Unidos, pero soy profesor. Cool.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Okay, I'll do the two then, I guess.
Sure.
So Pablo, bueno, I'm bad at speaking today. Bueno, que te gusta? So, well, que te gusta? Like, what you like? I would say me gusta. How would you say food? Food. I would just say food.
Food, la comida. Maybe good food, la buena comida.
La buena comida. Comida.
Comida.
So me gusta la comida. Y me gusta los idiomas.
Me gustan los idiomas.
Me gustan los idiomas. Yeah, then she says me gusta, blah, blah, blah. Me gusta ejercicio. ACL. Walkout.
Hacer ejercicio.
And how do you say many other things in Spanish?
Muchas otras cosas. Muchas cosas.
Muchas cosas.
Yeah. Me gustan muchas cosas. Me
Me
gustan muchas
gustan
cosas.
muchas cosas. Then she'll say, Pablo, ¿qué te gusta? Can't change that. Then Pablo says, me gusta visitar museos y me encanta el fútbol.
Okay. Yeah, he likes football. What sports do you like? ¿Cuáles deportes te gustan?
I don't really like sports, to be honest.
Okay, no me gustan los deportes.
Yes. No me gustan los sports.
Los deportes.
Deportes. Deportes. Okay. Yeah, I don't really like sports, to be honest. You too? Okay. And the last one, surprisingly. Starts with Pablo. Hace que porque aprendes español. Blah blah blah. Porque es bueno. Wait, I don't even know what he's asking. Porque, like, but
Why?
why Spanish?
Yeah, why do you learn? Yeah, aprendes is why do you learn?
No. Okay, I've got it. Me gustan, me gustan, me gustan los idiomas.
Idiomas. Los, plural. Yeah.
Y la cultura. And how do you say the language is just beautiful?
La lengua es bonita o hermosa. Or you could use this in asking with idioma. So you could say, yeah, la lengua es bonita, hermosa, bella. I think bonita, hermosa might be a little bit more for people. You could say la lengua es bella, like it's beautiful. Or you could say el idioma es bonito, hermoso, bello. El idioma es bello.
La lengua hermosa.
S. You make sure you're having the is.
Yeah.
Is.
Es hermosa.
S.
Blah blah blah. Y cuero. Yeah, so I like the culture and it's just beautiful. Yeah, and Pablo says te gusta la música clásica o la música moderna. I think I missed a bit of that out, but it's kind of confusing. You know.
What kind of music do you like? ¿Cuál música te gusta?
Rap music, hip hop, reggaeton.
Okay. Some of those names don't really change that much. So it's just the pronunciation maybe, but the name is usually like rap, hip hop, reggaeton. Yeah.
So reggae, rap, R&B, any music was pleasing to my ears.
Okay. Any music is cualquier música. Yeah. Me gusta cualquier música.
Yeah. I think that's me read it, like the conversations.
Cool. Okay. So yeah, I think you've made a little bit more progress. I think we've kind of bombarded you with more content, more vocabulary, but you can start like we're in the review session, I think, with the notes with this YouTube video, kind of putting together some of these little pieces to make some more details in your self introduction. So it'd be cool to see you kind of take some of these little bits and pieces and make another video that you could put on Benny's site for the
Yeah, I'm going to make it longer, like introduce myself again, and I'm going to try and add like more things that I like. I'm gonna like try and talk about other stuff, like I'm going to talk more in detail about what I like and why I like it.
Mm-hmm.
Gradually, like I'm going to keep on reviewing like this video, as you said, like I'm going to go over it and study it, you know. Yeah, I'll have another video like out in 5 days or 7 days or something.
Cool, yeah. And definitely, yeah, let me know. We can work on the script together. And another idea here, since I really motivate a lot of people to go onto italki and go into the community section for the notebook entries, a good thing to do here before you make that speaking video is prepare the script, write it out, use Google Translate if you have to. I mean, I would probably recommend using something like Word Reference. Also, maybe put the text in the language exchange group, get some feedback on that, and also put that text on the italki notebook entry. And if you have a free account with italki, you can do 2 of these texts. Right now, maybe you're not going to get to the limit of like 2,500 characters. That's about 700 words. But definitely take advantage of like making a couple of those messages, get some feedback from native speakers or even Spanish teachers who can correct your Spanish, your writing. And another thing after that is once you get that text that is corrected, you could go to rhinospike.com. You could request them to take that text and you could ask somebody to record it for you. That would probably be a paid option. Or in the language exchange group, probably ask some native speakers. There's probably a handful of people who would love to help you out with your Spanish. And that'd be a cool thing. You could get a variety of accents. So you could get, I know there's Cristobal. Hola, Cristobal. I think he's from Chile. I mean, you could get a little bit of a Chilean accent. There's a couple of people from around the world as well who could probably give you a brief audio file. And a cool way to get an audio file is using speakpipe.com/voice-recorder. That's a really easy to use tool. And once you make a recording, the audio goes to like a server. It gets deleted after 3 months, but you have a link to an audio. You don't have to download audio to like Dropbox or Google Drive or some other cloud storage. You just have a link right there, and you can share that link in a Facebook group or share it in a text message. I know HelloTalk does that. You can do like little audio messages inside the app. But this one, if you're not using HelloTalk, you could use this speakpipe.com/voice-recorder, and you could kind of exchange some audio recordings with a language exchange partner and get some actual feedback. So that process again would just be get your script, kind of like as Benny recommends here, get it all into those details. Then take it over to like, let's say the language exchange group, get some native speakers to look at it, put it on a notebook entry on italki, get some corrections. Then ask somebody to record it for you so you could get the paid option, which is Rhinospike, or maybe a free option, which might be in the language exchange group using SpeakPipe. And then when you're familiar with that accent and practice it a little bit, then go ahead and make your YouTube video and then upload it to Benny's Fluent in 3 Months Plus.com uploads. And then you can get even more feedback from other language learners and maybe even native speakers if they're watching some of those videos, and then like share your YouTube video in the Facebook group again, and then you get feedback on YouTube. So get everybody kind of involved, post it on YouTube, post it on your website, put it as like my this is my progress in Spanish webpage or blog, and then get those vocabulary together. You could even personalize this vocabulary, put it as a memorized course. You can make a personal memorized course and start getting some of those little bits and pieces of your new vocabulary. I've even experimented doing some stuff with a Google spreadsheet where you put in some of the words, even maybe use a Google form to send vocabulary to the Google spreadsheet. And then I've even been able to hack those spreadsheets by taking JavaScript, HTML to kind of turn it into a JavaScript app on another website, and you can kind of test it, turn it into another exercise. So it's a little less intensive than creating something on Memrise. So there's a lot of cool things you can do with your vocabulary, with your grammar, with the little phrases. If you get people to record these phrases for you, you could even add those audio files in there. So there's a lot of cool things, and I know you like doing some of the programming too. So it'd be cool to work on a project here for your Spanish, and we kind of put that together for like a 3-month, like as you're getting ready to join Ad1, and then kind of doing this on a daily basis to keep you motivated. That'd be really cool to watch your progress and see how you do in like 3 months with this. So I wish you the best of luck with your Spanish, and I think you're off to a good start. And so yeah, like keep everybody involved in your progress, and definitely when Benny's language hashing book is ready for the print for launch, it'd be cool for you to get a copy of that, and then we can kind of continue with this.
Yeah, thanks for all the things to do. You know, like we just said there, like all the Memrise courses. I can work on some projects, so you can see my progress. I'll definitely be doing that, and yeah, I can't wait.
A little bit each day really helps, and it's just kind of find your hook and make some good friends in the language, and just kind of stay connected, stay motivated.
Thank you. That's all I have to say.
Yeah. De nada. And if anybody else you're watching and you'd like to take Spanish lessons, or you want to hear more about the language hacking course, go visit the website languagehacking.com. That's where Benny's new book is, like the landing page for that. And there's still some bonuses left before the launch at the end of the month of September. And so definitely check that out. And good luck to Alan. Thanks for participating in this live lesson. And I hope you get a chance to continue progressing.
Yeah.
So, gracias a todos. Hasta luego.
Adios, people. Bye.